Atl United Fan TV 1-0 loss again for the third straight match in a row. Here with Chris, and yeah, Atl United are out of the MLS is Back tournament. There were some scenarios that it would have been possible had we won the game, but yeah, it was a tall task and a tall order to defeat the likes of Columbus Crew, who have soundly just moved on to the next round. And yeah, we are left reeling and going back home. What are your thoughts?
There's a lot of them. This entire restart has been, just to put it plainly, a nightmare. The commentators spend a lot of time, talking about United's history. It's a brief history, but it's a great history. And, it just kind of begs the question, sort of what happened? What happened, from the Tata days to now? And, I think there's a lot of things that are going wrong for us, and I'm not sure where the turnaround's going to come from.
Mm-hmm. Obviously there are a lot of people that are FDB out right now because of, anytime you pretty much bow out of a tournament and you don't score whatsoever, it definitely leads to people calling for heads. Might be too early for that, but in terms of performance-wise, did you see an improvement from the previous two matches, or did you not?
No, not really. I actually think that we played our best game in the very first game, and that's saying a lot because we didn't play that well in the first game either. I'm not really one to try to change coaches right now, especially after a long layoff. You get a few games back under your belt. You're missing Joseph, and we really played two of our bogey teams in the league. New York obviously gave us our first loss and has given us a lot of heartbreaks over the years. And Columbus as well. I mean, we lost to them in our first playoff match. We've had issues with them last year especially. So, I think that if there's any sort of thing that I think Frank can lean on, it's that, two of the three games we played were against teams that we have struggled against in the past 2 years. Now, that being the case, I think that the way we set out to play, the tactics, the lineup, doesn't benefit us. And I think that's why we have played so poorly in this tournament. And we played poorly in earnest, aside from individual performances over the last year or so.
Yeah. It definitely is, the question, the kind of, $1 million question of, what should Atl United do to get us out of this bit of a slump. I mean, yes, early on in the season, 2 wins to start off the season, even in spite of an injury to Jose Martinez. Obviously, we are missing him in the lineup, but I think maybe we can find solace that at least next year, at the most, we can see Joseph come back into this team, and that would save a little bit of something. That's what we're lacking right now, probably most of all, is goals. But obviously, you'd like to see some of the other players kind of take on that responsibility and put some balls in the back of the net. Is it just also maybe too much of too many new players, too many kind of other players that were a big part of the system being exchanged out? The likes of Nagby, LGP, Joseph missing, Gressel. I mean, those type of players that were kind of typified kind of the attacking style. And now we're kind of having to kind of shift things around in this new kind of way, and we're still lacking a way to find our identity. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that you're right. The identity, and I don't necessarily think we're trying to find our identity. I think that we're trying to shift our identity. However, at the same time, you lost a lot of leaders. You mentioned LGP. You mentioned Gressel. And Gressel, for what he really lacked in pace, he was very, very good at picking out a cross, and that's something that I think that in all 3 matches, I think that we've been god awful at. Just the crossing hasn't really reached anybody. And yes, I know Joseph, he put a lot of goals in off crosses, so maybe my view is skewed, but I don't believe I've seen so many errant crosses miss people, and Gressel was great at that. He was also great at taking shots outside the box, or just at the top of the box, or just taking shots when he had the opportunity. He didn't look for the extra pass all the time, like we are doing right now, which seems to be sort of the motto, is to pass, 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 and perhaps walk it into the net. But when you're being outsized, out muscled, you need guys like you need guys like LGP to kind of steady the ship. You need guys like Nagby who can get in. Even Justin Miram, who he didn't play with us a full season last year, but when he came and when he played, he would look to do a nice little cut in from the left and curl something in, or he would somehow get in there. But the guys that we have right now, Moraney and Brooks Lynn and all these guys who, are, I guess you can say they're FDB guys. They're sort of the prototypical, kind of, speedy down the outside kind of possession type of guys. They're not really doing much with that possession. Brooks more so in the first game was actually pretty decent, but I think that we lost so many people in the span of 2 years. We've lost Almiron, LGP, Miram, Gressel. Joseph's injured. Parkhurst is gone. Remendy's not playing apparently. Nagby's gone. All these people. You have to stop and think about it. Like, we are basically having a brand new team, and this team isn't the team that won the MLS Cup. This team isn't the team that even won the Campeones Cup. This is a completely different team, and right now it's struggling really, really badly.
Yeah. Well, appreciate the time, Chris. I'm sure we'll talk about some other things when the time comes. If we have another game, hopefully that is sometime soon. But appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you later.